Belly Up Sports presents the 3rd and 10 podcast, your home for all things New York football Giants. Here are your hosts, Nathan Nguyen and Brian Germanaro. Take it away, fellas.
You know, Brian, I don't know if you heard, but Costco, definitely one of my favorite places to go to. Not because, they have stuff in bulk, but they also have the most amazing food court I ever been to in my life. Pizza for $1.99, sliced, a slice of pizza that is.
Roughly about that, pretty cheap stuff, yeah.
A hot dog and a soda for $1.50, a chicken bake, all those things. Apparently, a store in Los Angeles is going to build about 400 something.
Yeah, I saw this. They're going to build condo, like apartment building.
800.
Apartment building.
800 apartments over a new store in LA, which will bring 400 new jobs and low-income housing to the area. I thought to myself, dang, I kind of wish I lived in SoCal, because the fact that I could get a place above a Costco and not have to worry about, getting, or how do I say this? I'm saving gas because I can shop for groceries literally downstairs. I can get dinner for the price of, or less than $10. So I can get a slice of pizza, like I mentioned, a hot dog and a soda, a chicken bake, and some dessert. And it'll still all be under $10.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
And I would love that. But unfortunately, there's no other plans to, in regards to these, apartments being built outside of that store.
I think this is like a test mark. Like, how well did this apartment do? Because they don't want, like, apartments are really expensive to build and uphold. So build one, see what success you have with it, and then if it's successful, they'll probably branch out. If it's not, they'll just kind of kill it there.
I hope so, and I'm sure it's going to be successful. And a lot of people are going to be, whether it's, I don't know how it's going to work in terms of how people can get, this type of housing.
I think it's like how you get any housing.
Yeah, I'm sure there's is even like a wait list, maybe. I don't know.
Like you would any apartment.
Okay,
that's how most apartments are.
Yeah, I'm showing my lack of knowledge here because I have never. I've always lived with family or family friends, so it's all new to me, I guess. Which is I'm a little behind, as I guess you could say. But anyways, just wanted to bring that up to start the show. Welcome again to the 3rd and 10 podcast, season 3, episode 74. I'm your host, Nathan Nguyen, joined always by my guy, Brian Germanaro. It's good to see you guys again. We took last Friday off, I should say. But we're back, and we have quite a good amount to talk about today, whether it's the Pro Bowl. Yes, it is today, for those who don't know.
If you don't know,
now
probably
you know.
better off.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought it was Sunday, but we'll get more into it shortly.
That's the biggest thing. We all thought it was Sunday. That just show you how pointless this event is. If everyone thought it was Sunday, and it's like, actually, no, it's Tuesday. It's like, okay, we really don't care about this event. Just end it, guys. End it.
And especially when you see the roster for the Pro Bowl for the AFC and the NFC, and there's some players that makes you like just wonder, like, is this how serious they're taking it now?
It's social. It's still social media buzz. It's not the best players. It's what players get the most buzz on social media now, which is why Shedeur Sanders is in it. Because whether you love Shedeur Sanders or hate Shedeur Sanders, him being in the Pro Bowl is going to get people talking about it. It's that simple.
Or they have no other choice because they asked multiple players before him and they all said no. Because there's no way
you could find someone better than Shedeur Sanders. Someone would have said yes before Shedeur Sanders.
So Justin Fields.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Justin Fields. He said no. You're telling me there's a big gap between Justin Fields and Shedeur Sanders.
They're both ass, but
one is more ass than the other one. Shedeur.
I would have understood Justin
One
Fields.
was a starting quarterback this year. The other was a fifth-round pick
that ended up starting late in the year. Won a game
when they when they have already gone through 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, like he was their like you mentioned, their 4th option. Meanwhile, Justin Fields was their 1st option. Then he was benched, and then he got hurt too. And then Tyrod came in. And Tyrod got hurt. And who was the other quarter? Oh, Brady Cook had to
Brady
play.
Cook, yeah,
And
Brady Cook
yeah,
played a little bit.
they need a quarterback more than ever, man. I sort of feel for Jets fans, but they will always be a little brother to us, obviously. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about that more into it shortly. We'll also talk about our NFL awards predictions because I think the ceremony is later this week or towards
I
the end of
believe
this week.
it's I believe it's Thursday. It used to be Saturday, but I believe it's Thursday now.
They're changing everything, but it's good for us because at least we can
Mm-hmm.
see if we're right
Yeah.
about our predictions on Friday. So we'll talk about that. And then the original headline was that we are still looking for a offensive coordinator, but apparently we found one this morning, and we'll talk about it towards the end of the show because I really don't know how I feel about it, and probably towards the end of the show I will still not know how I feel about the
No,
hire. But
it's one of those moves where like I don't think we're gonna know how we feel about it until the season actually unfolds because there
mhm,
are good points of why Matt Nagy will be a great OC for the Giants, and there are good points why he's gonna be a terrible one.
mhm. Apparently, his former employer was kind of hyping him up
Yeah.
to us. So um, we'll see. I don't know, but like I said, we'll talk more about that towards the end of the show, along with the other hires across the league, as now all the NFL head coaching vacancies have now been filled. So we'll discuss that later on towards the end of the show. But let's just get out of the way. The Pro Bowl. Look, for the average NFL fan, if you didn't know it was today, well, I don't blame you, honestly. Like I mentioned, I thought it was on Sunday, and if you have been living under a rock, you would think the Pro Bowl is in Hawaii. Nope, it's in San Francisco. It's basically how it has worked. Um, in the past recently is that it's basically in the same city as where the Super Bowl is.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
granted,
a rather new concept. I think that's only like at most 2 years old.
yeah, which we all do not like. We are all used to the Pro Bowl being in Hawaii.
Hawaii was kind of cool because it did give the Pro Bowl a little bit of like um personality. Maybe that's the word. Like with it being in the Santa Clara with the Super Bowl, it feels like a second fiddle event. Like, it's the Pro Bowl. Like, who cares? We're all here for the Super Bowl. No one cares about this Pro Bowl event.
Yeah,
Was in Hawaii. It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of fun. Like, oh, Hawaii. That's there's not normal football games out there. That creates a little like uniqueness to the event. That creates like a more incentive to go. That okay, hey, I get a free Hawaiian vacation out of it. Maybe I want to
exactly.
go do that instead. Like, no offense to Santa Clara, but like I much rather go to Hawaii for free than San Francisco.
Yeah, because players would look forward to going to Hawaii, right? And this is
Yeah.
not roasting SF whatsoever. I've been there before, obviously, because I live in California. But it's not it's not glamorous,
No.
right? It's not
It's not the city
appealing.
you go to
Mm-mm.
in California. You go to LA, San Diego,
You're damn right.
all the beach towns before you go north. Like if you go to San Francisco, you're most likely going for some sort of concert or sporting event.
Yeah, damn right. Hey, that you are spot on. There's no need for me to add to any of that. Spot on, my
This is from
friend.
an East Coast guy,
Yeah, damn
I don't
right.
know the West Coast.
Hey, everything you said is straight facts. Yeah, 'cause I'm sure like when the players were named to the Pro Bowl, they saw it's like, oh, yay, it's an SF. But in the past, when players were named to the Pro Bowl, they took it. Well, it was taken seriously for one, but two, like we just mentioned,
I
it was
don't
it
think
was
it was
more
ever
appealing.
taken seriously.
And the battle back in the day when they were hitting each other, oh my god,
Yeah, that was just football in general. That was just
yeah,
different. But even then, I don't think people took it as seriously as they did other games.
yeah. It just felt more fun, I guess.
But
I
Jeff
guess
Saturday took a snap for the AFC side of
that
it.
is true. That's
Like
true.
we were not taking this game seriously.
That's true. That was a pretty,
It was an
good
awesome moment
thing to
because
see.
like Jeff Saturday was retiring, the Peyton Manning connection, and
Yeah,
all that stuff. But
but
like,
yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Um, but yes, it's gonna be at the Moscow Center in SF. So if you have tickets to go to that event, one, great, shout out to you,
two,
and
I hope
two,
they were cheap, and three, I hope there's free booze.
yeah, because they don't need it. Because us at home will have booze ready to go.
I'm not even. No, I don't even need that. I'm just not gonna watch. It's that simple. Granted, I have work tonight, which impedes me from watching. But even if I was off, I would be like, all right, I'm gonna watch a movie. I'm gonna watch a show. I'm gonna watch anything else than flag football tonight.
Come on, give it a chance.
No, I'm not giving it. No, it's stupid.
I know, but there's not much. There are NBA games. So
there's NHL right before the break. You could watch the 1980s Miracle documentary on Netflix, which is fantastic. Watched it last night. There's plenty of shows to watch. Go watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms. That's incredible right now on HBO. Go watch All Her Fault on Peacock. Like, there's so many other options for you than to watch a glorified scrimmage.
That is non-contact and 7-on-7 flag football, which is fantastic.
People in their backyard would make more compelling content. I'd much rather watch a 45-year-old try to pull off some moves in flag football than any NFL player try to play flag football, because they just won't care.
Yeah.
The 45-year-old will be like, I'm back in high school, and then tear his ACL.
They gotta fix this. They really do, man.
They do.
They gotta fix it.
Just be like, all right, you're like they do with the All Pro. It's just like an acknowledgement.
Yes.
Thing. There's no All Pro game. Just you made it All Pro. You made the Pro Bowl. You were a Pro Bowler this year. Mazel tov.
Yeah, and it's a good addition to the resume, and that is it.
Exactly. But that way we can actually use it as a resume thing, because people won't be declining it. Though it's an actual way we could judge players on how many Pro Bowls they made.
Yeah, because the average NFL fan is gonna be like, "Oh, Shedeur Sanders, a Pro Bowler?" Like, yes. Or like, "Wow, he's really good." No, it's not that he's really good.
Oh yeah, Shedeur. Oh my God, Shedeur fans who just don't understand football at all are gonna pop this up for years to come. Like, he made the Pro Bowl. It's like, yeah, well, if anyone with a shred of actual football knowledge will look at it and know that he really shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, I mean,
he threw more interceptions than touchdowns. All right, like, what are we doing here? Yeah. That's like Anthony Volpe making the All-Star game.
Yeah, honestly, the AFC has more questionable players that made it compared to the NFC. You look at Joe Burrow was called last minute to the Pro Bowl on Sunday, replacing Justin Herbert. You had Joe Flacco make the Pro Bowl, replacing Josh Allen. You had Shedeur Sanders, of course, replacing Drake May because he's in the Super Bowl. But hell, Jalen Hurts made the Pro Bowl, man, for the NFC. Dog.
Like I said, it's just name. It's name recognition. It's not
Prescott,
actual talent.
Yeah. Well, Prescott, I understand a little bit. Jared Goff.
There's players there with actual talent, but it's how much weight does your name carry? Dak Prescott's a good quarterback. It's elevated. He's the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Jared Goff has been in the league for years. People know that name, and he's good this year. Jalen Hurts, quarterback of the Eagles, just won a Super Bowl. That's a name people know.
It's just some players, particularly rookies, that made it. It's just, I don't know. I was just baffled. And you know how I feel about Shedeur. Obviously he's...
Yeah, you want to drop him at 3.
I know. It's okay, but that was a long time.
For a long period of time. It was like...
That's the old me.
It was after during February, we were still talking about Shedeur Sanders at 3. And I'm like, absolutely not. Not 3.
That's the old me, though. It's okay. That's the old me. It's a new year, new me. And I need to scout, or maybe have her be better at scouting players, I guess. But no, they gotta fix this, man. I don't know whether it's moving it back to Hawaii, maybe bringing back some sort of contact at least, or I don't. There has to be. They can fix this. I feel like, right? Or is it just? Do you feel like it's? I
think it's just done. I mean, the only time I actually ever really cared about the Pro Bowl was when Peyton and Eli were the coaches, because I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of fun, but outside of that, there wasn't really a reason to watch. And it's they were calling plays either.
They're just they're just there.
Yeah, exactly. They were just there. They're just they're just a glorified mascot.
That's just there for fun, and the players, I'm sure, just making stuff up on the fly in a way. Oh no, I guess I'll watch a little bit of it. I know, because it's not just the 7-on-7 flag football. There's going to be other competitions, I'm sure, as don't know what's going on outside. I guess the little thing's going off multiple times. But whether it's gonna be like tug of war, I think it's gonna be part of it. I'm sure like last year. Not fastest man, but some sort of I don't even know. There was no details I could find online about what other games are gonna be um, you know, played, I guess, at the Pro Bowl games, which is what they call it. It's not called the Pro Bowl now, it's just called the Pro Bowl games. So
Well, that's what you could do. Make it like an Olympic event type of thing. Make it a skills competition between the divisions.
yeah, but then again, it's like,
Even then, no one's gonna watch.
no one's gonna take it seriously, and two, no one's gonna like really try hard.
There's no way you can make this watchable. It's the problem. Especially with like the Super Bowl right then and there, because everyone's attention's on the Super Bowl.
Honestly, your idea is just spot on. Just to have it as a nomination to put on your resume, and then you don't gotta play nothing.
It stinks because like the MLB All-Star Game is an event I look forward to, and I might be in the minority of that one, but like that was just special to me. But like,
yeah,
the All-Star break is big in baseball for some reason. It just is. It always has been. Football and hockey and basketball is just, it doesn't carry the same weight. And like the reason why we had All-Star games like this is so that people, when what East Coast people could watch West Coast players, in person, because back in the day with TVs and stuff not being what they were, you couldn't watch LA Dodgers games if you lived in Minneapolis. You couldn't watch Phillies games if you lived in Seattle. The All-Star game was a moment that you could watch Willie Mays and all these players from around the country. But with the Sunday Ticket, MLB Package, Red Zone, all the things we have now, you can watch any player you want, regardless of where you're in the country.
Yes.
Taking away the main appeal of an All-Star game.
Yes. Yeah, spot on there too. Plus, like when it comes to the MLB All-Star game in itself, like it feels fun. And I enjoyed it last year, whereas like it was a tie game after 9 innings, so they went to basically a home run
derby. Yeah.
Yes, and that Kyle Schwarber was swinging that bat, man. That was fun to watch.
And
that
stuff, like baseball is the event, and it's the only sport where you cannot take it seriously but still look like you're trying. And that's not a knock on baseball. It's just different,
Yeah.
It's there's not the hitting like there is in hockey and football. That's not there.
Comparing all the All-Star games that exist, baseball is of course number one because, like you mentioned, like it's entertaining. Players will try, and they won't necessarily hurt themselves. Doing so. Football, they don't try at all. Basketball, same thing. No defense being played. And hockey, of course, I'm sure there's some contact, but very light contact.
Very light. Hockey's done cool things in the past. Like they did a division tournament one time, was the All-Stars from each division played each other. But like, here's the biggest thing about how hockey feels with their All-Star game. They canceled it last year for the Four Nations face-off. Instead, like, we're going to do an international tournament. And that did numbers. That was awesome.
That did.
Do that.
Problem
is you can't do that with football.
No, you cannot. No, there's just no way. There's no way.
Like, yeah, we see all these guys who, like, Jane Daniels has a Japanese flag on his helmet.
Yes.
All these players from all different countries. 90% of the players lived in America. They're just like have a family member, or their dad was in the military, or mom's in the military, so they're born on an Air Force base.
Yeah. I'm thinking to myself, maybe like if they were to keep having this, flag football competition every year, maybe kind of sell like a USA versus the world type of draft, maybe.
But even then, you can't, because like 95% of players be USA.
That's the thing. Yeah. So yeah, there's really no fixing this.
The only thing they could do, and I don't even know how you would do this, is like make it like a fantasy football type thing where like you have like 4 people draft, teams, and then you play flag football. Maybe then you get a little buzz.
Maybe because I think people will like watch the draft, I get, but then it's like the pool of players that are available.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you could put more players in the pool and like not get drafted. Then it could start like, oh, why wasn't Joe Burrow drafted? Why was what was the strategy in this and this
Yeah,
sort of thing?
true,
You know,
true. We're trying our best to fix it
we're
as best we
we're
can.
trying.
We are. We
We are
are.
currently trying to raise the Titanic. It's very hard.
But at the end of the day, just can't. We just can't. We can't fix it at the end of
Mhm.
the day. So for those who are gonna watch it, shout out to you. If not, we don't blame you whatsoever.
I
I
think
will.
the only people that are gonna watch it are like parents and kids under the age of 9.
Yeah, because it's gonna be on Disney something.
Disney
Disney
XD.
XD. Yeah. So
Back when Disney that's how Disney tried to appeal to male audiences was Disney
it
XD.
it
Because they
appealed to
felt
me.
Disney Channel felt it was like a little too female oriented. It's like how do we get young boys to watch Disney Channel?
It's like Disney XD. That's
Disney
the answer.
XD. Make a
Yeah.
skateboard show.
Hey, Kick Batowski.
I
I'm
was I
telling
was
you,
I was
that
going with
was.
Deacon Luther, but yeah, that works
Oh,
too.
that works. Yeah, your show works. My show works. What else they have? Kicking
Yeah.
It was great. Lab Rats
Kicking It
was
was
great.
good. I like Kicking It.
Yeah, damn right.
Yeah, that gave Olivia Holt her start, but then she went to Disney Channel to do I Didn't Do It.
That was a weird one.
Yeah, a lot of cartoons was on Disney XD. They moved a lot of cartoons over there. Phineas and
Phineas and
Ferb was
Ferb.
moved. Phineas and Ferb started out on Disney, but they moved it to XD.
Correct.
Gravity Falls started on Disney, but moved to Disney XD. Fish Hooks, I think, was a very similar situation. Crash and Bernstein, that puppet for some reason was
Yo,
insane.
that one was lit too. I like
Yeah.
that one. I like that one. So there were some good shows on Disney. Not anymore for sure.
No. I don't
Disney-
think Disney XD makes shows anymore. I think they just rerun old Disney shows on it. I think it's just like Disney circa 2013.
Yeah, I think Disney Channel as a whole, it's not the same anymore.
Oh no, Disney Channel makes Channel makes crap products now. Back they don't even hold a candle to Wizard Whaley Place, The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, So They Find Deck. They don't even hold a candle. Nickelodeon doesn't either. The golden age of children's television was our age.
Yeah, it's dead now because just
Tyler Perry made a Nickelodeon show. Like, what are we doing here, guys?
I did not know that. What show is it?
I like that. No, Tyler Perry. The Medea movies are hysterical, but like,
yeah.
why is he doing a Nickelodeon show?
I think he just needs to. I think he's low key past his prime because, like, remember that football movie that came out? Him. It's called Him, I think.
Yeah, that was Jordan Peele.
Bro, I'm tripping balls. Oh my god.
I agree with you. If you want to make the argument that Jordan Peele might be past his prime, I can hear that because, I mean, like, Get Out was great. Us was great.
Yeah.
Nope was okay. I like parts of it. I didn't like other aspects of it. And Him is just stupid. Him was, and I know I'm going to do spoilers because the movie's been out for a while. If you haven't seen the movie, you're not watching it.
Yeah.
Him was very cool up until the supernatural part happened. If Him was a movie about how far are you willing to push yourself to be great, and like the quarterback was just a psychopath, and like he was willing to push himself so far beyond like the realm of like, rational stuff.
Yeah.
Then I think you have an interesting idea for a movie. But with like the weird, like, it's making deal with the devil and like a bloodline of quarterbacks. I'm like, A, this is weird. B, football media is so big that this would have been discovered years ago. And 3, there was this crazy fan that kept telling this like blue chip quarterback prospect, like people compare him to like Andrew Luck coming out of school. That basically the movie is like the quarterback that the team has is like Tom Brady. Great, but like Tom Brady and his last season in Tampa Bay clearly has lost the step, no longer what he once was. And they have an opportunity to draft like Andrew Luck and get the next guy. And this fan goes, "We don't want you." No fan is saying that to a blue chip quarterback like that. Absolutely not. I even wrote it on my letterbox. I'm like, this is a football movie for non-football fans. If you're a football fan, you will despise this movie.
Yes. If you've never seen football, if you've never watched football before, and you watch this
movie,
movie,
you might find some enjoyment in it. If you watch football, there's too many holes that be like, this football doesn't work like this.
You'll find enjoyment, but it's like
I don't think you will because I liked it at first, but like after the first like 45 minutes, I'm like, this is stupid. It's just stupid.
I think similarly with the F1 movie, as a guy who doesn't like who's not a diehard F1 fan, like I enjoyed the movie very much, but like
Mhm.
for like those, you know, diehard F1 fans who watched the movie itself, they were like, "Oh yeah, this isn't real or that isn't real." It's like it just depends on who's watching it in
Yeah.
terms of in regards to opinions and whatnot. Just like with all movies, obviously. But
Mhm.
yeah, I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch him, but I saw a lot of reviews on it, and a lot of people were like, "This movie's ass,"
No,
and I'm just
I
like,
watched it.
yeah.
It was ass.
Yeah, well,
Definitely
okay,
ass.
perfect. Well, you just supported my point. I would not touch that movie with a
No, I no, I gave you a list of 65 movies to watch. I don't think you've watched any of them.
no, sir.
But
Maybe one day we'll get
him
there.
will never be put on that list.
Yeah, one day we'll get to the list. Hopefully, one day, one day. But one thing that we'll actually watch, I'm sure all of us will, or NFL fans will be the NFL awards that will
Mm.
be given out later this week. So let's make our predictions for it, my friend. We got an MVP, of course. We got offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, and of course, coach of the year as well. There's other awards that are going to be given out, but we're not going to
Yeah, I
really.
can't predict the Walter Payton Man of the Year. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no,
That's a tremendous award. I'm not downplaying it anyway. That's probably the best award to give out of the night.
yeah,
I can't predict how people will see charitable donations.
yeah. It's like, oh yeah, this one's better than the other. It's like, that's
I can't judge that.
yeah. We'll leave that to the
I'll
people
leave that
who
to people
vote.
that actually know what they're talking about. I
Exactly,
could talk about what's on a football field. I can't talk
exactly.
about community action.
Because we see it every week on how these players perform. We don't see what they do off the field
Yeah.
necessarily.
Like, how am
Yeah.
I supposed to see like what Hunter Henry does compared to was Illuminor our guy? Was it Illuminor? Our
Ours was
nominee?
I think it was Illumina. It was we don't even know who our representative is.
Like, who's
It's not Dart.
Bobby Okereke?
Yes, great call, good call. Who I personally think should be cut. Not I don't know how I feel about him
I
right
need to
now.
see how the offseason goes before I'm willing to
Yeah,
say if we cut him or not.
yeah. We'll get to the Giants offseason towards the end
Yeah,
of the show.
because like, if
There's
we
some
don't bring
thoughts.
another linebacker, keep him.
Yeah, it's just we had a good couple weeks, in the media, and last week happened,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
And Steve Tisch turns out to be a POS. Yeah.
yeah, and then of course our
Oh, yeah,
OC.
everyone is trying to like demonize Russell Wilson for also being in those files. Russell Wilson was trying to buy an airplane. It just happened to be the airplane he was buying was linked to that monster. All
Yeah,
right. Russell Wilson did not do anything wrong. He was literally just trying to buy an airplane. That's like if you were
yeah.
trying to buy an Xbox and the Xbox you were buying it to happened to be a serial killer. It's like, I'm not killing people. I just bought something from the guy. So it just happened to pop
Yeah,
up in the files.
yeah. We all know Russell Wilson would not do that type of activity. That again, we
Yeah.
don't know.
Listen, Russell Wilson sucks. He should retire. He should not be in the Giants next year. But I'm
Mm-mm.
not going to like demonize the guy because he popped in those files. He was trying to buy an airplane.
No,
Dude was
sir.
just trying to buy an airplane,
This is Russell Wilson,
which
man.
is insane when you think about it. But like, just put it on a smaller scale, and you see how ridiculous it sounds.
It just sucks. We're on the top. We were on top of the world. All positive things being talked about with the Giants, and all of a sudden, those two reports came out. Plus the whole hire that occurred today at the offensive coordinator position. It's like, oh great, we're back to being criticized in a bad way. And
I think people are just criticizing Nagy because they think of him as the Bears coach, and we'll get to it in a little bit. We got to remember he's the OC, not the head coach.
That is true.
That's a big difference.
Some coaches are better fit as coordinators / supporting roles than the main job, which is head coach. So, but
like if Josh McDaniels was the head coach as an OC, the Patriots they're competing for a top 5 pick this year.
That is correct. But nope, he has done an excellent job. I'm really glad they brought him back as the OC, and he's done an incredible job.
But speaking of the NFL, real quick,
yes,
we didn't touch this because we did the show Friday, and then new reports came out today. What's this vendetta against the New England Patriots? Because Bill Belichick's not getting as the first ballot Hall of Fame,
that is
and Robert
correct.
Kraft not getting the first ballot Hall of Fame. Those two are responsible for turning the Patriots into arguably the most successful sports franchise of the 21st century. Bill Belichick has competed in 11 Super Bowls. That's how 18% of Super Bowls played Bill Belichick's been involved in. And he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer? Get out of here. I don't want to hear he's a Brady merchant. You're just not watching football if you're thinking he's a Brady merchant. Go back and watch 2001, 2003, 2004. Those are not Brady teams. Those are Belichick's defense winning those Super Bowls.
I'll be honest, and I heard this from a report or of another person's opinion. I forgot who it was, but I'm like, this makes sense. It has to do with like Deflategate and Spygate.
Okay, then Brady's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I agree.
All right. Well, if Brady gets in the first ballot, then we have a problem.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. The NFL or the voters, I should say.
Right, but also every coach has come out and said, "Oh yeah, we were doing the same thing. Patriots just got caught."
Yeah, the voters are tripping. I mean, there's no other way to put it other than that. Major disrespect towards the Patriots at this point in time. But I apparently heard that
NFL jealousy showing is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that I think the voting committee came out and they're like, oh, if the voters went against something, that they would be taken off the panel, blah blah blah. I'm sure some changes will be made.
Yeah, because Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer,
that was shocking.
Puts all discredit to the Hall of Fame.
That was shocking. Yeah.
You're entering baseball levels. We're not having Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
They are Hall of Fame. I don't care if it's steroids. Everyone was doing steroids at the time. There are steroid users in the Hall of Fame right now. I would put money on it.
Yeah, and Bonds was, and like you mentioned, Bonds and
Bonds was good before the steroids.
Yeah, he just got caught, and that's the reason why he
never got caught. Bonds never failed a drug test. It was just rumors about Bonds doing steroids.
And they just never put him in.
It's because Bonds was not nice to the media. That hurt the media's feelings.
Oh my God, some soft ass mother fudgers, man. I'm telling you. Whatever though. That's ridiculous. But yeah, Belichick should have been in, no doubt about it. Eli wasn't in. This is a second time.
That's another one. Eli,
which baffles me.
I know Eli just had the greatest stats in the world, and like regular season, he's not great. You could make the argument Eli Manning is the clutchest quarterback in NFL history. I think he still has the record, and if not, it was very recently broken for most fourth quarter comebacks in a season.
And he beat the GOAT
twice. He beat the greatest football team ever assembled in the 2007 Patriots.
Twice. And still not in. Yeah. I know we just talked about the Pro Bowl, how it's not taken seriously. I don't think we should.
If your argument is like, oh, the Super Bowl doesn't mean anything, Joe Namath is a Hall of Fame quarterback just because he won a Super Bowl with the Jets. Go look at Joe Namath's numbers. He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Eli Manning, 2 of them rings. 2 of them. Baffles me, but whatever. This voting committee sucks ass. All right, most valuable player. You ready, my friend?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get to it. We got 5 candidates, of course, for each award. For MVP, it's going to be Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Drake May of the New England Patriots, Christian McCaffrey of the San Francisco 49ers, and Matthew Stafford of the LA Rams. Outside of McCaffrey, they're all quarterbacks, of course. It's always usually a quarterback-dominated award anyways. So
this is a 2-horse race, though. Like Lawrence and Allen are fun guys, but it's Stafford or May. It's one of the two.
And that's my question to you to start. Is it Stafford or is it May?
I give it to Drake May. It's very. Okay. This is my reason for it.
Sure.
This goes on how you define the word valuable, because I believe if you would have put Drake May on the Rams would have the same success with all the weapons they have, with Puka Nacua, with Devontae Adams, with the tight ends, with Blake Corum and Kyron Williams. Drake May would thrive in that offense. If you put Stafford on the Patriots, I don't think the Patriots are as good as they are. I think there's a good team still, but like that's a major downgrade going from Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams to Mac Hollins and Stephon Diggs. That's a major drop-off.
True.
We also have to look at like Stafford's numbers are a bit inflated. He had 8 touchdowns from the 1-yard line. So like Stafford, he had a great season. I understand all that. I just think Drake May did more, and he's a more mobile quarterback. So he, in all assets, more athletic, more that. I think Drake May put more value into the Patriots than Stafford did to the Rams.
Okay, I like that. I will go opposite of you. I'm going Stafford. And look, I think obviously May's been impressive. Taking his team from 4-13 last year to obviously a Super Bowl appearance, which is great. But I'm gonna be that guy. You look at the schedule for both quarterbacks, right? And all year long, everyone was like, "Oh, the Patriots have the easiest schedule." Da da da. And hell, if you put Stafford on the Patriots, sure. I Some people may think that his stats would have not been what they were in LA this year, but you could argue it could have been better because Matthew Stafford, even without Devontae Adams in the past, still dominated at a pretty high level, statistically wise. And it's like with an easy schedule. If he had an easy schedule like Drake May had with New England, who knows how much better the numbers could have been, honestly.
Yeah, the Rams also had the 17th hardest schedule, so they didn't really have that.
It wasn't hard, but it wasn't easy.
It
for
wasn't hard, but it was an average schedule.
It was an average schedule, yeah. And at 37 years old, man, to throw for almost 5,000 yards, for almost 50 touchdowns, to have just 8 interceptions, it's really impressive. And if you think about it, if you look back at history, by the way, so Stafford is the eighth quarterback in history to put those type of numbers up, more than 4,500 passing yards, more than 45 touchdowns. 6 of the previous 7 quarterbacks to do that won MVP. Drew Brees didn't win it in 2011, but that's only because Aaron Rodgers put up those similar stats and won the MVP ahead of Drew Brees.
Yeah.
And look, May had a hell of a year. For a second-year quarterback to be considered for MVP and to make the Super Bowl is impressive as hell. I just feel like, and I'm not sure if they do so, but I'm sure playoffs may have something to do.
I know in baseball it doesn't. I don't know about football.
And if they do count playoffs, Stafford just strengthens his chances to win it because May just wasn't.
The conclusion
outside the Chargers
regular
game.
Season before the playoffs, so playoffs are not included at all in NFL voting.
Okay.
So just regular season stats.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say because if it counts the postseason,
if it counts postseason, May
was
not look good this postseason. No one can say that.
But I just think at his age to put up those type of numbers, I just think Stafford's numbers are MVP worthy. Drake May. Yes, of course, obviously they're MVP worthy. That's why he's in the conversation, but not more than Stafford. So.
But you could make the same argument that Drake May, at his age, to put these numbers are impressive too. He's the 3rd youngest quarterback. He's only 23 years old.
Oh yeah,
that's very impressive with a less good supporting cast that Stafford had.
Yeah. It's difficult because it's like there's no really.
There's a great argument made for both these players.
Yeah,
I don't think either one of them is the wrong answer.
Yeah, it just matters who you prefer. And of course, Brian prefers May. I prefer Stafford. So we'll see who wins it. But I have a good feeling it will be Stafford. But
I think it will be Stafford. But I think I would give it to May.
You would give it to May. Yeah, I got you 100%. All right, let's get to. We'll go offensive player of the year. We'll stay on the offensive side of the ball. The day that the defensive player will be up for MVP, that's going to be exciting. I will be rooting for that defensive player if they are up for MVP.
They got to do something crazy though.
What is crazy? What defines crazy for?
Break a few records, be a big contributor to a team that made a playoff run, something like that.
I just wonder, what?
I think the player I picked for defensive player of the year would have been the MVP conversation had his team made the playoffs.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. We'll talk about that shortly then. Offensive player of the year: Drake May, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua, receiver for the Los Angeles Rams, who is trying to get at Sidney Sweeney, which is interesting.
Apparently they have a date.
I know. Hey, he's Sometimes
Good for him, man. Shoot your shot.
Hey, shoot your shot. He's a very successful wide receiver as well. So, Bijan Robinson, Atlanta Falcons running back, and Jackson Smith and Jigba, receiver for the Seattle Seahawks. Who's your choice and why?
I'm going Christian McCaffrey. He had
Okay.
1,100 rushing yards and over 900 receiving yards, 17 total touchdowns. He had a good running back season and a good receiver season in 1 year. How that is also probably the main reason why the 49ers even got into the playoffs to begin with. So to have 2 good seasons as a receiver and a running back in one, how's that not offensive player of the year? And to be the main catalyst for your team making the playoffs, I don't see how it's not how you're not offensive player of the year.
Okay, 100%. I understand that. I'm gonna go JSN though.
Yep.
Look, incredible season for the young wideout, right? I mean, almost 120 catches, 1,800 yards, 10 touchdowns. He led the league in receiving yards as well. 50.1 yards per catch, which is ranks in the top 10. 9 games with at least 103 receiving yards. Consistently dependable, an incredible number 1 receiver for Sam Darnold and the Seahawks. Like, without him, I don't think the Seahawks are here. As good as they've been defensively, they were carried by JSN all year long on the offensive side of the ball. Sam Darnold, every time we saw the Seahawks play, he was constantly targeting JSN and even if when defenses, had an extra eye on him, it did not matter. He is just an incredible route runner, incredible hands. Really took that next step into becoming a star wide receiver. And like McCaffrey's been great. He was great, obviously, like you mentioned, as a runner and a receiver. But we've seen that from him before. This is nothing new to us. Jackson Smith and Jigba, though, for him to put the numbers he put up, I give it to him. There's just something about those guys from Ohio State, man. If you're a wide receiver, there's just something about them. It really, and we have a chance to get one of those at pick number 5. Not to go off topic,
yeah.
but Carnell Tate, I would rather prefer over Jordan Tyson at this point in time. Yeah. At this point in time, though, like I said, we haven't done much scouting on it, but from what I've been hearing, injury history is a little concerning when it comes to Mr. Tyson compared to Carnell Tate. Give me JSN to an OPO offensive player of the year because he's been incredible, absolutely incredible, honestly. So, alrighty, defensive player of the year: Will Anderson of the Houston Texans, Nick Benito of the Denver Broncos, Myles Garrett of the Cleveland Browns, Aiden Hutchinson of the Detroit Lions, and Micah Parsons of the Green Bay Packers.
It's Myles Garrett.
It's Myles Garrett. Yeah, which I know it's a simple answer. It really is. Or it's like, oh, he broke the sack record, and everyone's like,
that's 23 sacks is very hard to do.
Yeah, no matter who you play, it doesn't matter who you play. Offensive lines, they had an extra eye on the
No team was able to make an adjustment to figure out Garrett.
Yeah,
that should tell you. Yeah. With all the film they had on him,
they couldn't.
No one was able to figure it out.
They tried double teaming him. It didn't work. It really didn't. Now, not to sound like a hater, I just want to play devil's advocate just for a little bit. The sack that helped them break the record was kind of BS because I feel like Joey Burrow.
So was Strahan's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Just the way that Burrow went down, I was just like, oh. Loki could have avoided that, honestly, but a sack record broken is a sack record broken. And you take away that sack, Garrett still had a hell of a year. Because he just terrorized offensive lines all year long. 3 forced fumbles on the year, 60 total tackles, which is a career high from him. And he was just like in previous years, an absolute game wrecker. And he carried that Cleveland defense. And like you mentioned, if the Browns made the playoffs, you would put him in the MVP conversation.
You have to, because he'd be the main catalyst for it. A main driving for that.
Yeah, because without him, it's like where does that Cleveland defense go? It's not that inspiring outside of him. So yeah, I look he's a great young player. He's only got to get it better. Benito had a hell of a breakout year. Hutchinson has always been solid. Parsons the same, but none of them has and that was as dominant as Garrett was this year. And he deserves his flowers. And the
Mhm.
Browns have something at least to look forward to, because he's going to be a Brown for quite some time because of that contract extension he signed before the offseason. But I'm sure he regrets it a little bit because the Browns really, really aren't going anywhere whatsoever. But I digress. All right. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Do we need to talk about this?
Uh,
I think we both picked the same player.
I'm pretty sure, but
It's Jackson Dart.
it's Jackson Dart.
I
The
mean,
other, yeah.
if he played the full season, he would have had the best statistical rookie season in NFL history. 2,272 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 487 rushing yards, and 9 rushing touchdowns. And what he just did for the Giants as a whole. He has completely changed the direction of the Giants franchise. The Giants went from this like rudderless, no direction, kind of stuck in the middle of no man's land to, even if they didn't hire John Harbaugh, let's just say they hired Chris Shula or Kubiak, there would still be a ton of hope about what can we get out of Jackson Dart. That if you could elevate, if you could have a great season, B, elevate a team to new heights, that's Rookie of the Year stuff.
Oh yeah, and Dart did that. He brought optimism back to Giants football, and he was just an
Mhm.
exciting player all year long. For those who don't know, the other candidates are Emeka Egbuka of the Bucks, Trayvon Henderson of the Patriots, Tetroy McMillan of the Carolina Panthers, and Tyler Shough of the New Orleans Saints.
The
Which
only guy that has
pisses
any competition is McMillan.
McMillan, yeah, and he's the heavy favorite apparently. But like, yeah, obviously for me, it's Dart. He led all rookie quarterbacks in rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, and passer rating. He ended his campaign with 24 total touchdowns, which was a franchise, including a franchise record, 9 rushing touchdowns. And for those who are like, oh, Tyler Shough deserves it more than Jackson Dart. All right, buddy. Dart
Tyler
has.
Shough played 5 games.
I know. Yeah, Dart had more touchdowns than Shough. Dual threat quarter. He's a dual threat quarterback, unlike Shough. Schedule wise, Dart has a better resume. He beat the Chargers, Eagles, Broncos, and Bears, he either beat these teams or kept the Giants competitive, which were the Chargers, Eagles, Broncos, and
the
Bears.
Chargers and Eagles. He was competitive against the Bears, the Broncos. Yeah. Those 4.
Yeah. The other games were. Let's not talk about
Big,
that.
I know he was in the Packers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But those are really good
those are
teams, and he put up very good performances
those are
against
playoff
them.
teams.
Tyler
Yeah,
Shough was playing the Falcons and the Panthers.
yeah. He beat the Panthers, Dolphins, Panthers again, Jets, and Titans.
Okay, the only impressive team on that list is the Panthers.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
Like, okay, awesome. You beat the Panthers twice, but you beat the Jets, who suck. You beat the Titans, who suck.
And the Panthers, and the Panthers,
and then you beat the Titans, who suck.
The Panthers got into the postseason because, well,
they've got the postseason because the division as a whole sucked.
Was trash. Exactly. So, and look, McMillan, hell of a year for him. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. For a guy who became the #1 option over there. Led all rookie receivers in each statistical category. But we've seen that before, and I'm not saying that we haven't seen a season like Jackson Dart from previous quarterbacks, but it's like it's not really. It doesn't stand out to me as much, But Dart, and of course, this may be our Giants bias speaking into it a little bit.
I will 100% admit this is Giants bias for Jackson Dart. I will 100% admit, but objectively, if he played 17 games this year at the rate he was going to put up the best statistical rookie season of all time.
And if he didn't, because he took over after week 3, if he just stayed healthy the entire year, who knows how things would have gone.
And he was playing with Darius Slayton as his wide receiver.
That's #1 option. Yeah,
his only weapon was Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, and defenses, keyed in on that. He lost his receiver #1 very early in Malik Neighbors. He lost his best friend.
He played 1 quarter with Malik Neighbors.
He lost his favorite teammate and best running back on the team in Scam Scadaboo. A couple weeks after that, he dealt with quite a lot of things. His
coach was fired mid-season.
Yeah,
it didn't affect him.
He still had a pretty good season after that. So it's like you got to give it to him. You do, and I hope he wins it for our sake. It will likely not go to him, but you could make a very, very strong argument, like we just did, that he deserves it more than McMillan. So Now, defensive rookie of the year, we also have a giant player up for it in Abdul Carter, but
He's not winning it.
he's not going to win it.
I have money on Abdul Carter to win Rookie of the Year, and he's not winning it.
He's not winning it. Dang it.
Maybe if a couple more of those sacks, it didn't get wiped off with the flags. And so what? He finished here with what, like 5.5 sacks,
Correct.
I
Yes.
believe.
Mhm.
So I off the top of my head, there were 4 that were took away because of penalties. So that'd be 9 leading the league in pressures. Maybe then you make the argument, but you just can't right now.
Just can't, yeah, because the other players on the list, they've had a pretty strong resumes, better than his. And Nick and Enamori from the Seahawks, James Pierce of the Falcons, Xavier Watts of the Falcons as well. None have two good candidates. Interesting.
Falcons defense is young and exciting.
They are.
They're an exciting unit.
They are.
I'm interested to see what Stefanski, who they bring in. They haven't named a DC yet, have they?
I don't believe they have.
That has to be a very attractive job.
Has to. Quite a good amount of young talent. Yeah, you have AJ Terrell, who's an outstanding cornerback over there as well. But the clear winner of the defensive rookie of the year has to be Carson Schwarzenegger, the Browns linebacker, right?
I agree to be the winner. I'm going to make a case for Xavier Watts, though.
Okay. Oh, son of a gun! You are
no. It's not just. I said this weeks ago. I was going to put a bet on Xavier Watts on defensive rookie of the year. This isn't just his, like, look, it helps he's a Notre Dame guy and I watched him all his years, but like, look at the numbers. He had 96 tackles, which is starting the Falcons, 59 solo, which is only 9 less than Schlesinger. Schlesinger had 150 tackles, but only like 69 of them were solo. Nice. Xavier Watts also had 5 interceptions and 1 fumble recovery. So he was handily in 6 turnovers this season. That's a decent resume as a safety too. That's a decent resume.
True. That's pretty good. I will say. I can't argue against that. I really can't. But the clear favorite was
Schlesinger's going to win. I will.
Yeah, he's going to win.
Concede Schlesinger's going to win the award. I wanted to make the argument for Xavier Watts because I'm like, he actually put up a pretty impressive season when you look at the numbers.
100%. I just look at Schlesinger's resume. I'm just like, okay, I see why he's the favorite. I mean, 156 total tackles.
Yeah, that's a really impressive number.
Yeah, 2.5 sacks, 2 picks, 9 quarterback hits, most tackles by a Cleveland rookie since 1999. He tied Luke Kuechly's record for the longest streak of games with 10 plus tackles by a rookie. Only one of 5 linebackers in history to record 145 tackles and 10 tackles for loss. Defensive signal caller, the guy that wore the green dot, which is insane for a rookie because they trusted him very early and well-deserved. Played over 95% of snaps. The second lead betting favorite in James Pierce only played just 50% of snaps. And you know, I just talked about him wearing the green dot. He was basically the anchor for a unit that was first in passing yards allowed and second in total yards allowed. So you got to give, Schwarzenegger all the credit in the world for a guy who was a mid-round pick. I liked him low key. He was great at UCLA, but he just fell in the draft, whether it was combine performance or just some, scouts were scared of his cons and whatnot, and didn't even look at his pros that he possessed. So shout out to him. Hell of a year. But you made a great argument for Xavier Watts for sure. Pierce obviously had the more flashier numbers with the number of sacks he had.
He had the sacks, but if you look at the tackle numbers, it's only like 26.
Yeah, he was mostly just a solid pass rusher, which is great, which is what you need because he's literally that's his job as an edge rusher. But just not really other flashy numbers other than the sacks. Enamori had a heck of a year with Seattle. Of course, Abdul Carter showed up, meaning he played well, or the numbers came about late in the year.
Yeah, then he started playing well.
But he got a lot of pressures, which is great to see. Hopefully, we can translate that to more sacks next year. Because we didn't we hire a DC?
Yeah, Denard Wilson.
Thank you. Yeah, I forget his name, but thank you for reminding me. Excited to see what he can do with our defense. And then finally, coach of the year.
Didn't comeback player of the year.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, hey, let me ask you. I won't vote on it, but I would like to know who you chose.
I gave it to Trevor Lawrence. Because think about where Trevor Lawrence had a big concussion last year. And think about where we were with Lawrence in the offseason. There was discussion of how much longer can the Jaguars realistically hold on to, because in 10 games last year, they were 2-8, which granted, that's record is not a quarterback stat. It's just an indicator of where they were when he played. 2-8, 172 completions on 284 attempts, 2,045 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and 3 fumbles. He also had 18 sacks, so it's not like the offensive line was brutal against him. 2025, 17 games was 13-4, 341 completions to 560 attempts, 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. He reestablished himself as the franchise quarterback in Jacksonville. I don't know if he's living up to the first overall pick, best quarterback prospect season since Andrew Luck. I don't know if he's living up to that, but he's definitely a guy that Jacksonville can rely on moving forward.
He's definitely shown it's like, okay, that there's been flashes during the year where it's like, okay, that's why they chose the number one. Because he put up some great numbers this year.
Also think this is probably Christian McCaffrey's award, but I didn't want to double up the awards, so I gave it to Lawrence.
Let me ask you this though: when it comes to comeback player of the year, does it have to be like, oh, you have to have had an injury the year before?
I don't think so, because like a comeback story is not an injury. Some of the best comeback stories, like Sam Darnold, is an amazing comeback story. Sam Darnold was never injured. Sam Darnold was a third-string quarterback on San Francisco and reestablished himself as a quarterback one. Like, Damar Hamlin died on the football field and didn't name comeback player of the year. Joe Flacco did. So, like, for me, it's the story. Like, would your story make a compelling movie? I think is what comeback player of the year should be.
Stephon Diggs was up for it.
Oh, yeah, he was ACL last year.
Right. Yeah, McCaffrey's the heavy favorite. Holy crap.
Because McCaffrey was hurt last year and then turned the clock back.
Hell of a year. So, yeah.
Everyone thought McCaffrey was. We had talks on Fantasy Live of where should you draft McCaffrey, because he shouldn't be a first round pick, and Vince and Kevin gave up on McCaffrey. I'm like, no, if you get this guy late, take a flyer on him. There's something left.
He's a dual threat. Like, he can, and with the lack of weapons in SF heading into this year, because I mean, really, you're gonna trust Jawan Jennings? I mean, he had a pretty okay season himself.
But Jennings was fine.
Yeah, but with losing Deebo Samuel, without Brandon Ayuk, Kittle was hurt, of course, at times throughout the year. McCaffrey was their offense, and he was absolutely outstanding. So I completely see why he's the favorite, but making an argument for Lawrence, perfectly valid as well. I mean, for him to kind of silence the doubters a little bit with his performance this year.
Yeah.
I think Jacksonville fans can feel better knowing they have their quarterback now. It's crazy what the right coach can do for you, and Liam Coleman deserves his flowers, as he is also a Coach of the Year candidate, along with Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald, the Seahawks, Kyle Shanahan of the 49ers, and Mike Vrabel of the New England Patriots. Who are we giving this to?
So this is, I think, the most competitive award of all of them.
Yes.
Because all 5 candidates, if they won, I would not have an argument against.
Yes,
all
sir.
5 of them have made a very compelling case for them to be Coach of the Year.
Yes, sir.
I would give it to Vrabel because he took a team that only won 4 games back-to-back years into a playoff team. A team that was competing for the number 1 seed in the AFC up until the last week of the season. And you can make easy schedule arguments all you want. Yes. Go back to what we talked about the Patriots at the beginning of the season. This was, at best, a wild card team. And Vrabel took them to a Super Bowl and took them to like an AFC East championship. The Bills were minus 360 to win that division, and the Patriots won it. And by the way, the Bill, like we talk about easy schedule, all this. The Bills played 14 of the same opponents the Patriots did.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know that, first off. Second,
I don't know if it's 14, but like the number is
a good amount. Yeah.
It's pretty significant.
Yeah.
The schedules are pretty identical.
I get you. Well, then again, they obviously play each other.
Yeah.
And then they play the same divisions.
They play the same division, and then they play the same and whatever I think it was the NFC South this year.
Yeah, so I get you. I do.
It's the same. They play the same schedule, and they struggled.
You sure? Yeah. Well, that's why
I
the
think
Bills.
the only team I think the Bills played the Texans, and the Patriots played. They didn't play the Texans, played somebody else. I think it's the only difference between the two schedules.
Oh, I remember that Bills Texans game.
Yeah,
Josh Allen was in hell.
Mm-hmm.
I get the argument. I do. But I want to ask you this though: when you think of the Patriots, right? Do you ever think? Have you ever thought of them as a broken? I thought of them as a broken franchise.
Yeah. After Gerard Mayo, absolutely. They look like they were in
but
overall,
overall,
a very long rebuild.
For like when you think of the Patriots in general, do you ever think of them as a broken franchise, or do you always think of them as like a team that's constantly competing?
Right, the team constantly competing because they had Bill Belichick. But after Brady left and after the Mac Jones rookie season, they were non-competitive for years. They had 4 wins.
A couple
4 wins. Go look at the records. They were not competitive. They fired Bill Belichick.
No, yeah. But they were what I'm trying to get.
They had the match of the Patriots because they were the dynasty. That's why. The dynasty clearly ended.
It's like when you think of New England, you think of them as a consistent playoff appearance team, contender for the Super Bowl type stuff. But when you think of the Chicago Bears,
but okay, if we could do this in the 80s, it's the same thing.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Flipped.
But it's like I'm thinking like 2000s type of.
Right, but if we do if we go back to the 80s, it's the Patriots are the broken team and the Bears are coming off Super Bowl.
Fair. I get you. But the reason why I'm giving it to Ben Johnson, similar to Variable, he brought the Bears he transformed the Bears from 5-12 to 11-6. First NFC North title since 2018. First playoff win since 2010. Worst to first in the division. The NFC North was the hardest division in football this year. All the teams were at least 500 or better. They had a combined record of 43-21, which is the best across all divisions. I will, be that guy and, factor in the schedule a little bit. Did the Bears have easy games? No, sir. They beat elite teams. Oh, elite. Like the Eagles, the Steelers, the Vikings. Not the Vikings.
We're putting the Vikings as an elite team. What are we doing?
I don't know about that.
The Steelers as an elite team? No way. No.
Well,
absolutely. They're not. The Steelers are not an elite
tell you what,
team.
Bad definition, but playoff teams. Beat playoff
That I will give you. But let's be honest, the Steelers snuck in.
My apologies for saying elite. My apologies for saying that. That was not a great term to say. But no, Ben Johnson, what I know for sure is that he completely transformed that Bears offense, man. I mean, 369.2 yards per game, 25.9 points per game, all great, all top 10 numbers. Helped Caleb Williams have the best season of his career. Third Bears coach to win 10 plus games in their first season. And honestly, he fixed this broken franchise because they have not been great in the 2000s whatsoever. 2010s, they were still bad as well. And heading into this year, obviously, like you mentioned, we saw the Patriots as at best a playoff wild card team. I don't think any of us saw the Bears as a wild card team at all.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I think many of us had them, at best third in the NFC North because we were like, oh, okay, we have the Lions and we have the Packers and Minnesota if they can, get things going with JJ McCarthy. Like the Bears, maybe next year, but no, they proved all the doubters wrong, made the NFC divisional round. I should have won that game. They really should have. I mean, you don't make an incredible throw like that and lose. But unfortunately, that's what happened with the Bears. But they have such a bright future, and they have the right man at the helm. And you could see what happened. Like you could see what difference he made when he left Detroit. Like that Lions offense was just not the same this past season without him at running the offense. I mean, they had the OC, then Dan Campbell took over play calling duties. Like that just shows how important Ben Johnson was to Detroit and how important he is at this time with the Bears. So I do think he deserves Coach of the Year more than Vrabel, despite Vrabel having an incredible season like he did, coaching that team who was in the Super Bowl. which is this Sunday, and we are all looking forward to it. More than Super Bowl on Friday, by the way, in our next episode. But yeah, those are our candidates, and we'll see how many we get right, and go from there. So, all right, to wrap things up, officially after I think it was yesterday or the day before, all NFL head coaching vacancies have now been filled. For those who don't know, let's go over it just to as a reminder. The Bills went with Joe Brady, who was the OC for them this past season. Steelers went with Mike McCarthy. Ravens, Jesse Minter, the former DC of the Los Angeles Chargers. Our Giants went with John Harbaugh, of course. Falcons with the Kevin Stefanski. Dolphins went with Jeff Hafley, who was the DC of the Green Bay Packers. Titans went with Robert Saleh, former DC of the Niners. The Browns with Todd Monken, who should have been the OC of the Giants, but I don't blame him for taking a head coaching job over the OC job.
Nope.
Cardinals went with Mike LaFleur, and the Raiders went with Clint Kubiak. So, two questions. Two, I guess. Basically two questions. One, who is your best, worst, and underrated candidate? And two, why the hell should I be excited about Matt Nagy? Because I'm still confused.
So the best is Harbaugh by
far. Of course.
The worst is McCarthy in Pittsburgh because you're just getting Tomlin 2.0. Like you didn't do anything. And underrated, I'm gonna go with Kubiak and the Raiders. I love the idea of Kubiak pairing up with Fernando Mendoza. I think that's a perfect 1-2 punch. You bring them in together, they can learn the playbook together, they can learn each other's strengths together, and that's how you build a foundation. That's a foundation the Raiders can build off of. And there are exciting young pieces. You have Gentry there. You have some rookie receivers. I know Jack Beck didn't have a great season, but maybe, actually having a quarterback that can get him the football elevates him a little bit more. Same thing with the other rookie I forgot his name, but it's another young wide receiver on that roster. His name's what?
Thornton.
Thornton. That's another guy. So there are a lot of pieces with the Raiders, and I do think that Kubiak is going to get the most out of them. Now on to Matt Nagy. So Nagy is a tough one for me. I really will admit that.
Just like for all of us.
You could look at the Chiefs' offense this past couple of years. Not great. OC, time in Chicago, didn't look great. Let's put some context onto this.
Okay.
Matt Nagy took over after the Chiefs had traded Tyreek Hill. They had lost their most dynamic playmaker in that offense. What he had was, a rookie Rashid Rice, aging Travis Kelce, who's no longer he once was, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Hardman. That's not a lot to work with. Also, a very big caveat, Matt Nagy was not calling plays as OC in Kansas City. That was Andy Reid. So, put it together, how much can you really put on Matt Nagy for the Chiefs' struggles? He was kind of just a figurehead in the role as OC because you had to. Andy Reid was pretty much the quote-unquote OC. Go back to Matt Nagy before he was hired as a Bears head coach. He worked with Donovan McNabb out in Philadelphia with Andy Reid. He's a big reason that Alex Smith's career was revitalized. He is given a lot of credit for turning Patrick Mahomes into the dominant quarterback he was. He has a history of designing play calls for, both creative and simple quarterbacks. And I got that from David Sleister on Twitter. Good follow there. So Nagy as a head coach is bad. I understand. When I first saw it, my immediate flashback was Jason Garrett. I'm going to admit it. But when you look a little deeper, Matt Nagy is a good offensive mind. His name has been tarnished because of factors out of his control. He was not good in Chicago. I'm not going to sit here and say he was. But a lot of people also say his brain was broken by the double doink. If the double doink doesn't happen, maybe Nagy's still the Chicago Bears head coach for a little longer. And he also had Mitchell Trubisky and Justin Fields as his quarterbacks who have proven to not be NFL caliber starters. Trubisky's a great backup and good in certain situations, but for a full season, I don't trust him. And Justin Fields proven he's not an NFL quarterback. So I get the concern. I have concerns with Nagy too. But I do feel there's a lot of positives with Nagy that are not recognized because he failed in Chicago.
Thank you for your explanations, by the way. Listen, when we had our head coaching position opened up, I was like, I want a veteran presence. And that's what we got in Harbaugh, right? It applies. That same idea applies to the coordinator jobs. I mean, Darnell Wilson experienced on defense. And the same is said here with Matt Nagy, because he's been in the league for quite some time. He's been with the Eagles. Obviously head coaching with the Bears. Obviously, and then most recently with the OC with the Chiefs. And like you mentioned, it was Andy Reid's offense, just Nagy calling it. Like
Nagy was doing play call this year.
He was.
No, he wasn't. No, it was Andy Reid doing play call.
So now, so Nagy was just relaying the plays to Mahomes.
Nagy was basically like Kafka when Dable was calling plays.
Oh, okay. And like you mentioned, he did get the most out of Mitchell Trubisky as best he could, and we all know about Mitchell Trubisky, not the greatest in the world.
No,
but
he's the reason about Mahomes. He was the rookie. He brought Mahomes as a rookie year. He was calling plays for rookie Patrick Mahomes. He was doing that. Same thing with revitalizing Alex Smith's career. He was a big part of that. When the Bears hired him, that was seen as Sean McVay 2.0. It was the next great offensive mind.
Yeah, I still don't know. I know you brought words of reassurance. I do.
Look, I don't know either. I still had the fear of JC Garrett 2.0, but I think that this is something we're going to have. We can't judge it now. We have to judge it during the season.
Yes, just like with all the coach. I think with any coach that's hired, no matter what team you root for, it's like you got to see what happens during the year before you make any judgments, right? I think a lot of Giants fans are like, okay, we had a chance to get Monken, Kingsbury.
Monken took Cleveland and Kingsbury said no.
Yeah. But then we end up with, Nagy.
Yeah, Nagy. But we also if you wanted Davis Webb became the Broncos OC.
Yeah.
Like, nothing you can do there.
Calling plays in.
All the candidates the Giants were interested in took other jobs.
No, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to need some time. I think it's best to just wait till the season starts. But then again, like we said, with all the hires that Harbaugh makes, we got to trust him.
Yeah.
We got to trust him.
And Harbaugh's proven that let's just say Nagy doesn't work out, which I hope doesn't. I hope Nagy works. I hope he's great here.
He will move on from
Harbaugh will move on for him.
100%.
We're not going to stuck with Harbaugh like we stuck with Shane Bowen.
No,
Harbaugh is very smart and all right, that's not working. Let's move on.
Yeah, we will make the changes necessary. I will say this to wrap things up before we head off for the day. If the opportunity presented itself, because as we know, we were kind of low key waiting for Monken. That didn't work out. So that's
100%. We were waiting for Monken was penciling as the OC, and he took Cleveland job, and we had a panic pivot.
Would you have minded Kafka coming back as the OC?
I want no part of Kafka on this team. No,
not even as OC.
Nope.
Because he wasn't that bad as the OC, and you keep that continuity with Jackson Dirt.
Right, but he also wasn't calling his playbook. It was Dable's playbook.
Yeah, so let's see what Kafka,
Right, but Harbaugh's not going to want to do Dable's playbook. And Kafka won't do Dable's playbook.
No,
Kafka do his own playbook.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure Kafka would incorporate his own playbook, and Harbaugh would be like, okay, let's see what you got.
Right, but I think it's just smart just to do a clean break from that entire thing. Like no carryovers in any high ranking roles. Just done.
Yeah. So even if Kafka was still there available as for the OC job, you wouldn't.
The only thing I liked about we're doing revision history. We all had problems with Kafka when he was doing play calls, even back in 2023 with Daniel.
Yeah, but
Jones.
it's like, but you always said like it was Dable's playbook, so like let's give him a chance to run his own plays because he did a pretty good job, or
he did an okay job. I'm not saying he did a great job. He did an okay job.
Yeah, I was saying his time in KC, but then again, he was just the
he was the quarterback's coach there,
so can't really say much about that. No, but I get you though. I do. Just wanted to just mention out there because like I continuity is so important, especially for a young quarterback, and you want a familiar. I would have considered Kafka for the OC job at least, just to have a familiar face with Jackson Dart. But at the same time, if you're gonna clean house, you're gonna clean house, and that's what the Giants are obviously doing, except for the GM position because he's still there. But I believe in him
there because he's willing to listen to John Harbaugh.
Yeah, because he knows if he doesn't,
he knows his role is I'm number 2 in football operations right now.
Yeah, because if he was fired, no one else is gonna hire him.
Yeah, exactly. He knows. Okay, if I want to stay general manager in this league, I'm going to have to listen to John Harbaugh now.
Yeah,
that's simple.
And he will, because why wouldn't you? It's the Titans. Basically have our coaches now.
Yeah,
Dable. Brasillo, I miss him so much. I don't miss him.
Brasillo's is a tough one. That's the one move I will doubt Harbaugh win a little bit until I see who he fills as O-line coach. So I don't believe they filled that yet.
No, he did fill the assistant O-line coach position though. His name is Grant Newsom.
So stupid.
I don't know.
Get the O-line coach, then bring in the assistant.
I don't know. Yeah, his name is Grant Newsom. Played O-line for his brother Jim, and then at Michigan. During his time at Michigan, they allowed 21 sacks in 2025, 14th best in the FBS, and they also gained 5.44 yards per rush, which was 9th best in the nation as well. So, like I said, it's assistant O-line. So, but I will say this to bring some positivity because that's who I am. At least it wasn't Brian Callahan as the OC.
Yeah.
If when I heard he was part of the conversation, I was like, okay, because like, look, we would basically have been switching coaches with the Titans. Dable going to
pretty much, yeah, we would have done a trade.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it was not Dable's fault that the Giants were losing, man. It was obviously that defense, and I hope that man is still unemployed. By the way, we know who the terrorist himself.
If he's going to be employed, he's going to have to take a step back.
Bowen?
Yeah. Like he's going to have to be like a linebackers coach or like a safeties coach. Like he's not going to be a DC. He's going to reprove himself.
Whatever he's good at. Don't know what that is. He was crap in Tennessee too, but we still took a shot at him.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. But with that being said, that'll do it for season episode 74 of season 3 of the 3rd and 10 podcast. Gonna be back after a day off last week. But the NFL season is almost over. It does make me sad. It does.
We forgot it's the anniversary of probably the greatest moment in Giants history. Super Bowl 42 was it was 19 years ago today.
One of the best days of my young life. The helmet catch, the fade to Plaxico Burress. Oh man, good times.
Great times.
I can't wait till we're that good again.
You're gonna be. The good times are coming.
The day we win a freaking Super Bowl.
Me and my cousins were talking about this recently. With the Patriots dynasty coming back, I don't care. The Patriots win 6 Super Bowls again. But if we sneak a couple of Giants Super Bowls in there, and we beat if Dart turns into Eli and beats May, take it. I take it.
Me too.
Right now.
Me too. God, I'm telling you.
I'll give the Patriots 6 Super Bowls right now if it means Giants just win 2.
The day we
in the next 20 years.
I'm telling you, man, the day we win a freaking Super Bowl, I'm going to cry.
That's gonna be that's gonna be an electric episode, a Super Bowl episode.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I do not know how I'm going to react that day, but I know tears will be freaking coming out. Happy tears.
It's gonna be like just joy is what it will be.
Oh yeah, 100%. But hopefully that day comes sooner rather than later. Then again, it's not like we haven't won a Super Bowl before, unlike some teams. So I shouldn't be
Yeah, I know. Like
know.
the way like you describe it, it's like you've
Titans
never seen a Super
fans
Bowl
are
in your
like,
life.
hello.
I know when the Mets win a World Series, I will cry. I know that for an absolute fact.
Yeah.
I'll be very, very, very happy with the Giants win. I don't know if I'll cry because I've seen the Giants win a Super Bowl before.
Yeah. Obviously, we've seen him when we were, growing up.
I was in
but
fourth
like,
grade when the
but
Giants
yeah,
last won a Super Bowl.
now
So
that we're
like,
like adults, it's like
for
okay,
adults, it will be different. I will. Don't get me wrong. I am going to be over the moon happy when if the Giants win a Super Bowl. It's just like I've seen them win a Super Bowl before. There's other, the Mets win a World Series, the Rangers win a Stanley Cup, Notre Dame wins a national championship. Like that's going to be big.
Irish are just right. They were right at the doorstep of winning it, and then just those damn Buckeyes.
Mm-hmm.
The Buckeyes are just too
Just
good.
take out the second quarter, they probably win that game. I will go to my grave saying that. If you take out that second quarter, the Irish probably win that game.
That first quarter was so
electric.
long.
I thought we won when Riley Leonard. I've said this 1,000 times. Riley Leonard would score that touchdown. Like we just won a national championship. If we could keep up that play, we are national champions.
Yeah, it's all good though. Y'all made it that far, and you guys will be a contender
We'll be back.
next season.
We'll be back.
No doubt about it.
The transfer portal was
good.
Very good. Very good.
We'll explore that when college football season rolls around again.
I think the Irish got like 5-star recruits in the transfer portal.
Damn. Shit. We'll see how that pans out. But that'll do it. We appreciate y'all's support as always. You can follow us on social media. You can follow me at Nathan_124. You can follow Brian at BrianPG1016 on the TikTok and the Twitter. And you can follow our podcast page at 3rd and 10 Podcast. Shout out to our sponsor, SeatGeek. Use the code BillUpSports for $20 off your first purchase. And you can find my article work, Brian's article work, and all of our other amazing writers and podcasts at BillUpSports.com. We'll see you guys back on Friday for another episode, previewing the Super Bowl, the last game of the season. Talk about the halftime show a little bit. I think it's going to be better than what we expect it to be, and look forward to the commercials as well. That will be airing that day. Yeah, one more NFL football game left to go, and we're on to the off season officially, and the draft, and of course baseball season, because that's gonna be fun.
The catchers report a week from tomorrow for the Mets.
And the regular season begins 31st,
March 26th.
Sheesh. So we got to get in our baseball previews. Dang. All righty. Well, bet. Well, for Brian, I'm Nate. Thank you guys so much as always. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. And we appreciate y'all. Bye.